Just your friendly daily reminder that Fox News is complete shit.
Skip it up and that up.
So this past Wednesday, a 30-year-old Tennessee man named Casey Jones, here's a picture of him here. He has an excellent beard. I kind of envy his beard. Was playing Xbox, and he went into a fit of rage when he lost. Now, I have gotten annoyed when I've lost online matches, and at worst, maybe I've broken a controller, which happened maybe once or twice in my 37 years on this planet. But Casey Jones decided to take it maybe 30 steps too far. The first thing Casey did was he started screaming and smashing the Xbox console with his fist. That's a smart thing to do. Now, if things ended there, this story wouldn't be newsworthy. People rage at video games all the time. People rage at everything in life all the time. But our buddy Casey took it, well, another step further. He decided to get his handgun, a Springfield XDS, and he fired several shots into the ceiling. But he still wasn't done. He continued on. He got his other handgun, a Springfield XDM, and started firing more shots into walls. One of those shots went through a window, and the bullet struck a neighbor's home. Now, the court noted that Casey has had a history of making threats of self-harm in the past. There was a woman in the home with Casey as he lost his mind after playing Xbox, but he made no threats against her at all. Now, just to show you how filled with rage Casey was after playing Xbox, the police found 16 shell casings in the room where he was. So it wasn't, I told you he fired off several shots, but he fired off over a dozen shots after he lost whatever the hell he was playing when he was playing Xbox. So this guy got some anger issues. Now, with a dude with this kind of temper, you would think he'd have a criminal history, but he doesn't. He has no criminal background, but he is going to be charged with 4 counts of reckless endangerment with a deadly weapon, and he has his bond set at $8,000. He has an upcoming court case on November 14th. Now, even with all that, if the story ended there and Fox News wasn't Fox News, I wouldn't have found what happened here video worthy. There's so many times where people lose their minds, whether it be over politics or sports or video games or religion, that I would become review people losing their shit USA. But of course, Fox News has to be Fox News and take a dig at video games so they could use it in the future as a scapegoat. And what do I mean? I'm going to quote them directly here so no one could say I'm taking it out of context. Fox News threw their 2 cents in about this situation, and this is what they had to say. Video games can bring on fits of rage in players as they can have difficulty separating reality from fiction, especially in games played among online communities, psychiatrist John Kumpfner told the News Sentinel. Now, I love to talk to that psychiatrist because I guarantee you that Fox News took what he said out of context just enough so they could take a dig at video games. Now, they also bring up too, and I actually did a video on this, which there'll be a title card right here. You can check it out, how a guy from Long Island, Michael Alaperti, he was playing Fortnite. He lost to a young kid, and when he lost, he threatened to find out where the kid went to school and shoot him there. So they were like, hey, see what video games do to people? It makes them violent. It's the video games. It's the video games. So they used that to back up their evidence saying that video games make you lose your mind. Now, of course, many of you, because there are some people that are my age and younger that are very devout Fox News viewers. It kind of surprises me, that are going to defend them and say, Rich, you are reaching with this. What are you doing here? Why are you trying to make them out to be the bad guy? Maybe video games do make people insane. Maybe you should find a new hobby. I've heard it all. But what happens when there are Super Bowls? What happens when it comes to sports? Do you realize that every single time there is a Super Bowl, there is a riot, basically? Recently, and I forgot which Super Bowl it is, there was people rioting because their team won, not because their team lost. How many news stories have there been where people start beating the living crap out of each other because they're fighting over which team is going to win? How many times does that happen? But when Fox News reports on that, do you ever hear them talk about, oh, look what happens when people discuss sports or are fans of sports. They lose their mind when it comes to sports, and they become violent. And we had to ask this psychiatrist what sports do to people. Do you ever see them? Never once will you see them doing that. You know why? Because Fox makes billions of dollars off of sports and broadcasting sports and having advertisements when the Super Bowl's on, or when there's baseball games, or whatever basketball, whatever the case may be. Fox Sports makes them a lot of money, so they're not going to throw any shade their way, even though that whole tribalism thing where people are, if you say anything bad about their team, they'll kick your teeth in. You'll never, ever, ever hear them say anything bad about that because there's money there. And the other thing is, too, because Fox is a conservative news organization, whenever there's a mass shooting, which happens every, let me look at my watch, 5 minutes, they get to use video games as a scapegoat. Whenever anyone talks about bringing any kind of new gun restrictions into play, or maybe even looking more at mental health, they're like, no, it's all about the video games, man. Video games are making people crazy and violent. But even though it can be proven that countless times when people talk about sports, or people discuss sports, or they go to a sports game, whether it be the Super Bowl or whatever the case may be, that people get violent, that makes us money. See, Fox has no money in video games, so they don't care about that. But sports, Fox Sports, billions of dollars, man. Shut up. Shut up. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. Because it's not about, it's not just Fox, too. It's all the corporate news organizations. It's not about telling you or me the truth. It's about telling half-truths or whatever they think we want to hear that will appease their audience and will appease the corporations that give them millions, if not billions of dollars. That's all that matters to them at the end of the day. Just more proof that, if anything, I feel like people would get more tribalistic and violent when it comes to sports. And I remember calling out a friend on this years ago because it just pisses me off when people do this. I was at a bar with a couple friends, and I'm not big into watching sports, but a lot of my friends are. And for some reason, when someone's really, really into football or baseball or basketball, I don't know why this is, they refer to their team as, oh, we won, or oh, we lost, or we could have done better. And I hate that. I remember saying to this one person, I'm like, why are you saying we? And they don't even realize, it's so instinctual to them. They're so like obsessed and involved in this team, whether it be baseball, basketball, football, whatever the case may be. They don't even realize they're doing it. Like I said, you realize that you're saying we? And then like, they didn't at first. You could tell by their look on their face, they didn't at first, because it just comes out that they say we. And then they were like, well, yeah, why? What's the big deal? I'm like, do you own any portion of the team? No. Are you an athlete on the team? No. So what the hell are you saying we for? It's not we, it's them. You're just a fan of them. Are you that emotionally involved in said f***ing sports team that you're gonna sit there and say we? Like you're part of the team. It's so sad, but it just, my point being about it, what I'm trying to get at is that it's not just video games. It's a human instinct thing that we become so emotionally integrated with what we're passionate about, whether it be games, whether it be sports, whether it be politics, whether it be religion, or whatever the case may be, that we lose our shit over anything. It's an animalistic instinct that we have to be that way, to be that tribalistic. So it's not just video games, Fox. It's a human trait. It's a human flaw that we have, that we get so invested in frivolous, stupid things that we act like this. Human beings in general are just violent. It's not people that just play video games. So stop trying to pin your nonsense on video games so you could use it as a scapegoat again in the future. Because anyone with a brain can see right through it. This is Rich of Review Tech USA signing out. Have a good one. Hey, congratulations! If you made it to the end of the video, you should subscribe to Review Tech USA so you can hear me blabber on some more. Also, too, starting this month, I will be live streaming solely on Twitch. I'll have a link to my Twitch channel below in the description. And last but not least, make sure you click that like button. It helps out the show big time. See you guys in the next video.